of a word, like part of the suffix or even prefix, you know, you can rest assured that you're on the airwaves somewhere. Walking this way on sunrise hour, Saturday, May 17th. Trash trucks out this morning. I was thinking about bars, and I know a lot of people in college or what have you, younger years, 20s, like, you know, it's a thing to go to bars. I get nauseous at the aroma of like the old sticky beer floor, or even the sidewalk this morning is pretty gross because it was a Friday yesterday. So people were out last night. I actually believe people are programmed on some level. So, like, how do people get out of that mindset of wanting to be where everybody else is, going to the party, what have you? I actually think people are programmed. Do we want straight? So it's really hard to get shifted out of that program and into a different mindset. You know, worst case scenario, you have to change your entire life, all of your friends, the level of excitement or thrill that some people get by, ooh, who's going out tonight? Like, I didn't have a lot of that. I was a quieter person in general, and also my body can't take. I actually have very bad reactions to substances that one should not imbibe in technically too much. So, you know, I was in a whole different camp altogether, but I still understand it. I totally know what it's like to be like, oh, you know, all these people are going out. I wish I could go out, or I want to find somebody to join. And it becomes a program, I believe. It's hard to leave that. I saw a documentary once about a guy from the Gayborhood, and he loved to go out, and, you know, it wasn't here in Philly, but if he were in Philly, he'd go to Pure. He would do, you know, he'd be one of these people who's always finding the party. And at some point he had to move on. Like, you know, he's like 65 years old, you know. So, you know, by that time, usually people sort of fade out and do other things or find a different way in life, you know, what have you. But he might have even been a dancer. I'm trying to remember So his whole world was that sort of underground nighttime nightclub world. And he loved, you know, meeting all these people, and it's a whole scene, da-da-da. But he had to move on, either because of some weird mishap or what have you. But I remember him saying, like, it's just like an addiction. He still gets the urges, like he wants to go out on a Friday night. He had a really good time going out. So not everybody does, but in his world it was a positive experience in general. And he missed that whole scene, like, oh, I want to party, I want to go to the rave or whatever, you know, I want to do the, you know, there's the house music, there's this, that, and the other. That creates a whole thing, and if you have a very positive experience that makes you happy, and you win by having all these friends or knowing people, you know, you're connected in a community, it's hard to pull away from that. So I totally get it, because it's like, for a while in Philadelphia, a lot of people are indoctrinated in the protest world, whether you are into it or not. Like, it just becomes a thing. Like in Philly, we stand for things. We stand for issues. We stand for rights. We stand for the Constitution. Like, it's kind of put on people quite a bit here, and in a way, say you're totally, like, you want to be part of the whole scene and this, that, and the other, and you don't want to miss the protests because of how much excitement comes around, or what have you. We had like Occupy Philadelphia back in the day. We had protests for LGBT rights. Like, we had protests for abuse of power, and it was, you know, constant protests in Philadelphia. But when my world was turned upside down in 2011, there was a very strong messenger in the sky who made sure I never showed up to another protest ever again. Even as just a regular citizen joining in. A lot of these people are connected, so you have groups of people who meet up and protest together as large groups, you know. They belong to a certain, you know, mission or what have you. I would just be, you know, somewhat in the loop and would hear that something was going on, and I would just show up. So I didn't really have a group that I belonged to. Anyway, oh, it smells so good here. This is Mom's Organic. So really quick, I love the aroma of Mom's Organic. They're not open right now, but it's right inside. They have bulk nuts and grains and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that's what contributes to I call it a rich person's kitchen. I've been in homes here in Philadelphia and in Delaware, and when I walk into a kitchen that's healthy, it's technically organic and healthy, but it's not produce, it's more than nuts and grains. It's like, oh, I wish I would want my kitchen to smell like that. Anyway, but as I was saying, my world was turned upside down in 2011. There were heavy protests groups in, say, 11, 12, 13. I guess 12 would have been a campaign year, so massive protests. Also 2016 had insane protests. You know, Black Bloc would be an extreme protest group, and they, you know,